It's not really a news story. It's basically a bunch of people having like sexy chats with a teddy bear.
Reality is a construct of perception. Carl is a construct of coffee and bad life choices. Here they meet in Carl versus Reality.
Hello, thank you for joining me for this episode of Carl versus Reality. How's it going? I think this is episode 6, 7, maybe? What a stupid thing that was. I don't know. Literally, it was one of those things where I heard about it and I was like, what is this? Then I got educated by South Park and I was like, okay, so it isn't really funny. It's not supposed to be funny. And then I was like, okay, it's just something that youngsters say and all that kind of thing. And obviously I started doing it to make the younger people cringe. The idea being that it's definitely a dead meme if someone my age is doing it. Someone twice their age doing that and all that kind of thing, you know. But anyway, let's just get on with the actual show. So I recently went to a pub, and I like pubs. It's one of my favorite things to go to because there's a lot of history in a pub. Like, you go into a pub and it's like been around for like a couple of 100 years, or you know, it's been around for, I would say, even if it's like 50 years old, it's got a certain amount of history to it, you know. You sort of look around the decor, and it's just been a hub of community in that community for however long, and it's sort of nice to see that still being there, and there little being like just traces of it, like pictures on the wall, ephemera, and all this. You know, the stories and nights that have been had in that pub. I always love all that kind of stuff. It's just something that I always enjoy, experiencing. And you know, I've now got a regular pub I go to, and it's quite nice. It's quite, it's the staff are amazing and all that kind of stuff. And the last time I went, there was a dog, and I thought, oh, there's a dog in the pub. I love a pub dog. I always like when I go into a pub. There's certain criteria that I really like. If it's an open fire, I love it. If there's a dog sort of just chilling out, sleepy on the floor, even better. So I go in and get my pint. I'm waiting for my girlfriend's dad to come along, so I buy him one, and I sort of sit down. As I'm going to my table, this dog starts getting a bit excited and started like whining and all this kind of stuff, trying to get over to me and all that kind of thing. And the guy whose dog it is basically says, "Oh, don't worry, it's all bluster. He'll just calm down in a second." And he did. To be fair, that's exactly what the dog did. The dog laid down and just chilled out, and it was fine. Same thing happens when my girlfriend's dad came along. But then again, you know, literally exactly the same speed. Oh, it's just bluster and all this. So it's fine, you know. So we're having a conversation about things, and you know, just sort of, just having a nice sort of chat and a catch up and all this kind of thing. And then there's a smell just comes out of nowhere. I'm all like, "Is that the toilets?" Because we were sat by the toilets. I had my back to the toilets. Thought maybe that's that. And then I sort of like, and looked down. It was the dog. And the dog's had the dog had a look on its face that it had just farted. And I looked over to my girlfriend's dad, and I think it registered with him. I was like, great. So we've got a farting dog next to us. So we're having just carrying on the conversation, all that kind of thing, as you do. And then dog lets out a loud one, and we sort of look at each other. And then obviously the smell comes. It's like, oh, for God's sake, should we move? No, it's fine. Eventually the dog left and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it wasn't really sort of mentioned between us. Like it was understood that we had witnessed what had just happened, but we're sort of deep in conversation and didn't really mention it. It wasn't until we got back home where we were talking about like how our evening had been. And I was like, yeah, that dog kept farting. He's like, oh yeah, it did. It's just funny how very British of us to not mention it and just stiff up a lip and sort of wade through the stench of a dog's arsehole. But it was an experience. The smell of stale beer and dog farts. I think I don't know if I prefer dog farts or cigarette smoke. But yeah. So that was that. Right. So I've been looking on the internet for some stuff to talk about, and I have found a little story to talk about, really. And it's going to be AI, and I'm sorry, it is about AI again. The thing about AI is that it is around a lot now, And people are like really putting so much weight into it, like AI is the future, AI is this, it's that, this is amazing, this is the best thing that's ever happened to humanity. I think AI as a tool is fantastic. I use it myself a lot of the time. Not for obviously doing. It helps me research the show. Basically, I'd say like can you find out as much as you can about this and give a bit more context and all that, and it's good for that kind of stuff. But I think it's simplifying humanity isn't really working out. So anyway, there's this a toy released by a. It's called the Kumma Bear. Kumma. It's an AI-enabled plush toy, and it was selling for about $99 or 80 Great British pounds. Now, before I sort of continue this, you know what's going to happen with this, don't you? You know exactly what's going to happen, but let's just see it unfold slowly. Made by a brand called Folo Toy, a Singapore-based company. And it basically integrates OpenAI's GPT-4o chatbot, and it's been marketed as an adorable bear, combines advanced AI with friendly interactive features, suitable for kids and adults, capable of lively conversations and educational storytelling. And unsurprisingly, it's been now listed as sold out, probably because it's been withdrawn. Why was it withdrawn? Why would they? What could have possibly gone wrong? Researchers at the US PRIG Educational Fund, I had to look this up. PIRG stands for the Public Interest Research Group. They found that the bear discussed sexual fetishes, including spanking, kinky. Gave advice on lighting a match. Suggested where to find knives in the home, and engaged in long, explicit conversations when prompted with a single sexual term. PRG quote, the Kumma Bear escalated in graphic detail, introduced new sexual concepts of its own, described sex positions, gave step-by-step instructions on a beginner's knot used for tying up a partner, and invented role-play scenarios involving teachers, students, parents, and children. And the I can't pronounce it. I'm going to call it Purg. Purg noted poor content filtering. The toy was so willing to discuss these topics at length. They added children are unlikely to bring these up. The worry is the lack of guardrails. Now, the thing is, it's AI, right? AI is born to please. It literally wants to do what, it's literally bending over backwards to try and please us humans. And, it will kiss our asses and just give us what we want and all this kind of stuff, even if it's not necessarily correct. That toy would probably work if people weren't putting those search terms in. And obviously they are doing it on purpose to try and, just to prove this point. And I agree they should be doing that. But it's not really a news story, really, is it, when you think about it? It's not really a news story. It's basically a bunch of people having like sexy chats with a teddy bear, when you think about it, when you boil it down to its bare bones. And there should be obviously some degree of filtering and all that kind of stuff, but how do you do that? And well, they should do that. That's what they should do. I think there's a lot of things that could be done with AI in that kind of world, but will they? I don't know. So the company has suspended all AI toys in the range, not just the Kumma Bear. Launched an internal safety audit and has suspended development with the OpenAI has suspended the developer for policy violations, and it's just one of them things, really, isn't it? Like, what do you expect? Like, let's put an AI into something inanimate and then hope for the best. I mean, I thought it was pretty magic when the smart speakers were coming out, and you could speak to it and ask it questions, and it would play music, and it'll do all these other bits and pieces. Don't have a full-blown conversation with it. I mean, you can do that to a degree, but I think, when it comes to that kind of technology, it has to be harnessed. It is amazing what it can do. It does feel a little bit like when the internet was first around back in the sort of the late 90s, early 2000s. It was like the Wild West. You could do what the hell you wanted on there, and it was perfectly fine. Well, not perfectly fine, but you know what I mean. There was so much like possibilities were endless of what you could do, and it is with AI. It's exactly the same, but it needs to be harnessed, and people aren't harnessing it really. But yeah, it's just people just assume that everything will be okay if you whack an AI in it. Obviously not the case. Anyway, I'm waffling on here about AI again, and I apologise, but Jesus, it's just hard to not get away from it, really, isn't it? I keep getting sent videos by people, and it's like, that's an AI video you've sent me there. That's an AI video you've sent me. That's an AI video. And there's videos that I've sent people that I didn't know were actually AI, and I'm actually shocked. The human brain is now getting confused about that kind of stuff. And I can't think who it was. There's a famous quote about AI is basically something about if it can fool if you can fool a human, then it's artificial intelligence. I can't remember what it was. But yeah. Anyway, talking shite, and yeah, that's it pretty much. I'll be back again next week for more of this crap. Don't forget to support me on TikTok, the Instagram, and YouTube, and all that. Subscribe to those. I post little snippets of the show. You've already heard it though. So anyway, thank you for joining me, and I'll catch you again next week. And take care of yourself. And ta-ta.